Sup nerds. Today we have a round 2 from our store championship from about 2 weeks ago. This is Purple Chaos Gallantmon versus my Star-Lord deck. Creed, my opponent, won the die roll, so he was forced to go first. Music to my ears. He starts out by hatching, digivolving, then hard playing a 2-drop rookie to put me to 2. I hatch and digivolve my Bushiagumon. Then I hard play my Kodomon for 3 to choke him to 1 and look at the top 5 cards of my deck and add up to 2 Warrior or Holy Warrior Digimon. Grab a Nightmon, put the other 4 cards in the bottom of my deck. Then he promotes and digivolves into Devimon to choke me to 1. I personally would not have promoted there. I think not keeping your guys in your raising area until they're megas is a mistake versus yellow. So I probably would have left the Gilmon in raising and digivolve the Devimon on top of it. And maybe even just swung in with the rookie into my security. And I Starmons and blow up the Gilmon. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I do have a Spiral Masquerade in my hand already, so I'm just building up the board, seeing what I can do. Creed activates Demimeramon's effect to draw 1 and trash 1, and then draws for turn. Hatches and digivolves. Then digivolves into Black War Groundmon for 3 to choke me to 1, that's fine. And we draw our second Spiral Masquerade, so now I can go ahead and burn one if I really want to, because I do have a second one in my hand. And that's what I do. So I play it for 4 to put him to 3, and then minus 9k on the Black War Groundmon to kill it. And he promotes again. He swings into my security. It's Pyramon dies, so he gets to trigger its Pyramon's effect to draw, and then Demimeramon's effect to draw 1, trash 1. Trashes a Chaos Gallantmon. Hard plays a Candlemon for 2. And then Chimeramons to pop the Candlemon and kill my Bushiagumon, put me to 6. Fine with me. Giving me way too much memory in my opinion. But I think he's trying to get an ultimate to stick on the field so he can go into his megas. So I digivolve into my Unimon. Digivolve into Superstarmon. And then I Spiral Masquerade to kill the Chimeramon. And Creed then tells me to do something that isn't Spiral. And I tell him no, that he can't make me. So he hatches and digivolves. So the way you beat purple is you keep their megas from touching the field. That's the game plan. If their megas don't touch the field, they literally can't win. I do realize that's probably true for a lot of decks, but like purple literally can't play if their megas don't hit the field. All they're doing is just drawing cards and discarding cards if their megas never touch the field. He's thinking about Earthshakering my Superstarmon, but it's just a 1-for-1 and he feels like that's probably not the best play. He also told me after the match was over that he didn't want to play it unless he was forced to, just so he could hide it. Because it's not a commonly played card. And we draw our third Spiral Masquerade for turn, very nice. It's not a commonly played card, so you can catch people off guard with it, and being able to pop 2 cards with it is pretty valuable. So because he gave me 5 memory and I just drew my third Spiral Masquerade, I'm about to just blow up his entire board again. So I play Pulsemon for 3 to draw a card. And I spiral him again. And kill his board. Tell Creed it's his fault. He cut my deck. Yeah, so I cleared his board on 4 consecutive turns. Basically just not letting him play this game. And now all he has is megas and options in his hand. Because I've killed everything that he's put out. And I play Gladi for 4, and then look at my security. Grab another Gladi. And here's where he blows the Earthshaker, because he doesn't get max value out of it. He gets to pop my 4 and my 5 that are unsuspended. Pretty good card. I think Purple's issue is they just can't find room for stuff like that, but Earthshaker's a pretty good option, because it gets the same effect if it's checked in security as well. Which as soon as he plays that card on me, I then know to play around it for the rest of the match. So like when I'm swinging into security, I know to play around it and stuff like that, so... It's smart of him to try to hold it if he can, to hide it. But once he reveals it, I play around it for the rest of the match. So I play Nightmon just to kill his one guy he has on the field and put him to 3. He activates Pyramon, draw a card, and then Demiramon to draw a card, trash a card. And he actually forgets to draw for turn. Probably just due to the frustration of having his board just mutilated on like a million consecutive turns at this point. Basically just not letting him play the game. And he hard plays Skullmaramon, put me to 2. And I'm going to go ahead and Blinding Ray just so I can make a power play. Feels bad to see a TK trash with Blinding Ray, but it's not a huge deal. I did evolve into Lord Nightmon. And swing security, then activate Lord Nightmon's effect. Play Nightmon, Nightmon minus 4k on the Skullmaramon. Hit Hell's Gate, which activates and goes to Creed's hand. So now I know he can kill my Lord Nightmon if he wants to pay 6. I'll swing with Starmon. Swing with Pulsemon. Swing with Kodomon. And then I Nightmon to put him to 6 and finish off his Skullmaramon, and then he goes to 8 due to the time mat. So yeah, Creed doesn't get to play this game. I just cleared his board repeatedly. Honestly, so Creed is frustrated, but honestly it's amusing. He's not being like super serious about it. He's handling it a lot better than I think a lot of people would. Just not being able to play the game at all can get pretty frustrating. At one point at the beginning of this turn, he said this is like playing the devil. So he digivolves into Pyramon. The one good thing he has going for him is I was forced to give him 8 memory to clear his board. But the issue is he only has 1 security left and I have 3 guys. He can pop one of them though with Hell's Gate. Then he Vilemons, just to put a blocker out. And then he Hell's Gates to kill my Lord Nightmon and put me to 4. So I digivolve into Lord Nightmon. And then I want to kill him on this turn. So what I do is I Blinding Ray to go to 3. And I play Starmons from my hand for 3 to minus 3k on the Vilemon. And then I swing with Lord Nightmon, drop Nightmon to finish off the Vilemon so he doesn't have a chance to block. And then as long as I don't check Earthshaker, I kill him with my Nightmon that I can attack with. And so Creed scoops. He doesn't even bother checking to see if it was Earthshaker, but it wasn't. So I do take game 1 pretty handily. Seeing 3 out of my 4 Spiral Masquerades in the first like 5 turns is pretty nasty, especially when Creed wasn't hiding in his raising area like I think you should versus Yellow. So I definitely high rolled that game. I'll admit that. By the way, we are doing a giveaway for a box of 1.0, so make sure you do check that giveaway out. The link for it is in the description. So Creed chooses to go first for game 2, which is music to my ears. You guys know I love going second. So he starts out by hatching and then digivolving into Gilmon. Then he digivolves into Miramon in his raising area to choke me to 1. And I hatch, digivolve into Bushiagumon. And then I do have a TK in my hand, but I don't like, just when I get choked to 1, I don't like playing it to give my opponent 3 memory to work with, especially if they already have a champion in their raising area. So this is probably going to be my default for most situations, is I digivolve into my 2-cost champion if I have it, to choke them back at 1. And then he digivolves into his 2-cost ultimate to choke me back to 1. It's fine. Because I also have my 2-cost ultimate in my hand. And I digivolved for 2 and then choke him back to 1. Back at you. Then he plays Candlemon for 2 to choke me to 1 again. And I go ahead and just TK. This way I can digivolve into Lord Nightmon. It doesn't end my turn on my next turn if I have it. I grab a Kodomon out of my security. I don't think I have Lord Nightmon. I either don't have Lord Nightmon or don't have a Nightmon. So I grab the Kodomon so I can search for Lord Nightmon. But something I do know is there is a Spiral Masquerade in my security. So I find that out at the very beginning of this game. Which is very useful information. It will come into play later. He swings and fortunately does not check it. When he swung there, I was concerned that he might have checked it, but thankfully he didn't. So he plays Tapirmon for 3 and then Tapirmon for 3 to put me to 3. And I do not have Lord Nightmon, so we are just going to play our Kodomon so we can dig for her. There she is. Unfortunately, we do have to put a Spiral Masquerade to the bottom of the deck, but we do get our Lord Nightmon, which is what we needed. And I play a Starmons for 3 to kill one of his Tapirmons. I just want to make sure his board presence doesn't... I want his board to get too wide. Because I do want that Spiral to have a really big impact when it does come out. So he does digivolve into Megidramon, and it makes both players mill the top 5 cards of their deck. I mill some pretty good cards. There's a Lord Nightmon, a Nightmon, a Gladiemon, and a Starmons in there. He does put me to 4 by playing the Tyon Mat. So he is set up. If I kill the Megidramon, he has a Chaos Gallantmon that he can play for free out of his trash. So right now I'm doing math. I'm trying to figure out if I can kill the Megidramon. Which honestly, I question if that's even good. I feel like if you're playing against Chaos Gallantmon with Megidramon in it, it might just be better to leave the Megidramon alone, because Megidramon by itself doesn't do anything. Chaos Gallantmon actually has an effect. Megidramon doesn't do anything besides play Chaos Gallantmon when he dies. So I play Starmons for 3 to kill his Tapirmon. So I decide that I can't kill his Megidramon, so what I do is I play 4 guys, or I make sure my board is 4 guys wide. That way if he swings with the Megidramon, it dies from Spiral. That's the whole reason I do this play. And I just get to pop one of his guys and search for a Nightmon with the Kodomon. So he hatches. Digivolves into Gazimon. He swings into my security. Doesn't hit the Spiral in there, so he does get to live another day. So I picked up the Megidramon to read it to see if it said a Tamer or a red or purple Tamer, which it does just say Tamer. If you have a Tamer in play when he's deleted, he gets to play a Gallantmon from your trash or your hand. he plays a Canamon for 2. And then Digivolves into Devimon for 2. Then I go to 3 from TK. And now that we have Lord Nightmon, we do promote our stack, Digivolve into her. And we're at 3 security now, so we get our Upamon effects, which is pretty cool. So I swing into Megidramon, activate Upamon's effects to draw, and then activate Lord Nightmon's effects to play Nightmon, and then activate Nightmon's effects to neg 4k on the Devimon. So Devimon dies, and so does Megidramon. Creed triggers Marimon's or Demi-Marimon's effect to draw 1 trash 1 first. And then activates Megidramon's effect to play a Digimon with Gallantmon in its name. Let's play Chaos Gallant for free. Sadly, I do not have a Spiral Masquerade in my hand, so I can't just kill it. That would be pretty nice. Unfortunately, my Kodomons have put those to the bottom of my deck, or at least 2 of them. And one of them, the other one's in my security, and then I have 1 more in my deck somewhere. I go ahead and Digivolve into a Lord Nightmon, and then he goes to 5 from Ty and Matt's effects because I have a Mega on the field. So he promotes his Gazimon. He plays Mega Digimon Fusion. So a Zwart is coming out for free. Zwart's effect activates, mills the top 3 cards of his deck, and then plays 2 Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less, 2 black or purple Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less from his trash for free. Plays a Chimeramon and a Gilmon. Triggers Chimeramon's effect to pop Gilmon, to pop one of my rookies, and he gains a memory from Gilmon's effect. Something cool about Lord Nightmon is it's a 13 play cost, so Zwart can't pop it with its on attack effect. So he'd have to Hell's Gate my unsuspended Lord Nightmon in order to kill it. But sadly, he can swing over my Lord Nightmon. So he swings and then activates Zwart's effect to pop one of my rookies, and then Lord Nightmon goes down to 14k and then gets ran over. Sad. Digivolves into Chaos Gallantmon. Forgets to draw from the Digivolve, but activates the effects, pops the Gazimon to pop my rookie, and then triggers Demi-Marimon's effects to draw 1 trash 1. And then he activates Chaos Gallantmon's effects to play a level 3 from his trash. Due to the Gazimon being deleted. So this is a huge power play. Like, he is popping off on me on this turn. Then he Digivolves into Zwart for 6. Then activates Zwart's effect, mills 3. And then plays 2 more purple or black Digimon with a play cost of 8 or less. Plays Chimeramon again. And plays a Black Lord Growlmon. Activates Chimeramon's effect to pop my Starmon, and then gains a memory from Gilmon's effect, so I go to 3. So yeah, he popped off on me. His other Zwart does go to the bottom of his deck due to the Mega Digimon Fusion effect, but it doesn't really matter. That was a huge power play. I do, fortunately, have a Lord Nightmon still in my field. If I didn't have a Lord Nightmon, this would be, like, super GG's. So I Digivolve into my Kodomon in my raising area. So right here I'm trying to figure out how to not lose, obviously. So I swing into a security, activate Lord Nightmon's effect, play Nightmon, 9 minus 4k on the Black Lord Growlmon, and I do check 1 security, hit a Matt, so he gets to activate and then grabs a purple Digimon from his trash, and he grabs a Nubismon. So he's preparing to try to kill me on his turn. I only have 3 security left. So I play a Pulsemon, gain a memory and draw a card. So I only go to 1, since I'm exactly at 3 security. Then I Digivolve into Pitomon, draw a card. And then I Digivolve into Kentorosmon, and then -2 security on his whole board. Pretty much guarantees that he can't kill me on his turn. He gains 2 more memory from the Tie and Mat, but Kentorosmon does put in work on this turn because he definitely would have just killed me on his turn if I hadn't done that. Very good card. I've had Kentorosmon in my hand almost the entire game, I believe, but he does come in handy here. So he swings Zwart into my Nightmon and then activates Zwart's effect to return the level 6 to his hand to pop my Pitomon. So it does kill both, sadly. Honestly, looking back on this, instead of playing the Pulsemon and Digivolving into the Pitomon, I probably should have built up in my raising area into an ultimate, because the Pitomon's obviously going to get popped on his turn. And he can't check my security, so it doesn't really matter about the spiral at that point as far as how wide my board is. He Digivolves into Chaos Gallantmon, activates Chaos Gallantmon's effect to pop the Chimeramon. Doesn't have a target on my field to pop, but he still gets to activate the effect. And he gets to play a purple rookie from his trash for free. And then he Hell's Gates my Kentorosmon. So I go to 5. And right here, I'm actually not sure what I was thinking. I should have just killed his Gilmon with the -11k from Kentorosmon's effect, because he wouldn't be able to get Gilmon back because Gilmon's already activated his effect. So I'm not sure what I was thinking, so I just targeted the Gallantmon, even though Gallantmon's 12k. So that was definitely a misplay by me. I'm not really sure what I was thinking here. But I do promote my Kodomon. I am fortunate that he gave me 5 memory to work with, but it is going to take some thinking here to clear his board, or at least stabilize a little bit. And once again, knowing that Spiral Masquerade is in my security is very useful. So I play Pulsemon for essentially 2 and draw a card, Pulsemon for essentially 2 and draw a card, since I'm still at exactly 3 security. And I play Nightmon for 7. So I do it for a couple of reasons. One, it lets me kill the Gilmon, which it should have already been dead from the Kentorosmon effect, but it also lets me Digivolve into a Mega on my next turn. But it does put a 4th body on the field, and if he swings with his Zwart, his Chaos Gallantmon is going to die if it checks a Spiral Masquerade. It does give him 6 memory to work with, which isn't the best, but it's what I had to do. So he plays Tie and Mat. Now his Zwart is swinging for 3 security checks, which is all 3 in my security. Spiral Masquerade I do know is in there, so I do kill his Chaos Gallantmon. Creed, I tell Creed that I knew it was in there, and he said how, and I pointed at my TK that I played at the beginning of the game, so I told him that I knew it was in there the whole time. Ends up being the last security check, but on this turn it didn't matter because Zwart was going to check all 3 security anyway. So he hard plays Vilemon to put me at 3. And now let's see what I can do on my turn. So I play Double Blinding Ray to start off. Since we're at 0 security, I just get to go to 7 memory for free. Seems good. And I do have a Lord Nightmon, so I can do stuff. I'm trying to figure out if I can kill him on this turn. So I'm just looking at his trash, seeing if there's any Earthshakers in there. He doesn't have any Earthshakers in his trash, so odds are there's probably one in his security since he's almost decked out at this point. So I'm assuming he's playing at least 2. So I Digivolve into Lord Nightmon. Digivolve into Bushi. So I realize I can't kill him on this turn, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to keep him from killing me on his turn. So I Digivolve into Unimon for 2. And then I Digivolve into another Unimon for 2. And we rip a Spiral Masquerade off the top, which is pretty cool. So it does help out. So right here is actually going to be a misplay by me. So I swing with Lord Nightmon and play Gladiemon from my hand. I swing into his security, but I actually should have swung into his Zwart. Because he either would have let me crash, to kill his Wart and my Lord Nightmon, or he would have blocked and to keep his Wart alive. And either way, I would have killed one of his guys, and then I spiral the other guy, and then he doesn't have anything on his field on his turn. And if he had let me crash with my Lord Nightmon, he would only be at 4 memory since he wouldn't gain any memory from the Tine mats. So you would have no field and just 4 memory. And I would have my Unimon, Kodomon, Gladiumon, and my Bushiagumon in my Raising Area. And he'd have 4 security. So he Digivolves into Skullmarimon for 2. He does have the Anubismon that he did add to his hand, so I do know that's a thing. But fortunately I do have 2 blockers. So he Digivolves into the Anubismon for 3. And activates Anubismon's effect to play a Rookie from his trash. The Rookie does get Rush, but with me having 2 blockers, the Rush is irrelevant because I would just kill it if he swung into me. He knows that, so he Digivolves into a blocker. So he swings the Anubismon just to force me to sacrifice one of my Unimons to get 1 less body on my field, which is smart. There's nothing I can do to stop that. So he Digivolves into his Skullmarimon for 2. He Digivolves into his Raising Area just to take an extra card. And then Digivolves into Chaos Gallantmon for 4. Kills the Anubismon to kill my Unimon. So I have 4 memory, and then he gets to put the Gazumon back on the field with Chaos Gallantmon's effect. So right here, the only thing I lose to is Earthshaker and Security if I swing in the wrong order. So I swing with Gladiumon first to play around an Earthshaker. I swing with Bushi and then draw from Upa. And here's where I check the Earthshaker. There are no targets since Earthshaker only hits unsuspended level 4s and level 5s. Swing with Kodomon, and then swing with Lord Nightmon for game. So I do take it 2-0. Game 2 was definitely back and forth. Game 1, Creed didn't get to play. I just super high rolled him, but Game 2 was very good. Very close game. Shout out to Creed. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content and want to come back for more. And until next time, see ya.